Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to today's webinar about our school management business administration program. And we have three speakers with me today. And let me introduce them and myself first, and before we go into our presentation. So my name is Ranlu Andrews, and I am the Assistant Professor of Finance at School Management. And I'm also the Program Director for the Undergrad Business Administration program. And with me here today, we have three guest speakers. Dr. Susan Murphy, a professor of management, and she's been with Cal Lutheran School Management for over 18 years, and she teaches in both undergraduate and graduate programs. And we also have two students, and one of them is a recent alum, and the other is a current senior student. And we have Blessy Pinson, and she is the current senior student in school management. She double majors in both business administration and Spanish, and her business administration major emphasizes in global business. And we have our recent alum, Justin Brown, and he graduated from school management last December. It's really recent. And he had majored in business administration with emphasis in finance. And he just placed at Amazon headquarters in Seattle, Washington, in their corporate finance program. And he's going to start in Amazon in August this year, right after summer. So, and also with me here, we have our Associate Dean, Dr. Veronica Guerra, and she is overseeing all undergraduate programs in school management. And so we're here to answer all your questions at the end of the presentation. So feel free to submit your questions along the way while we present, and we will try our best to get back to you guys, each one by one, at the end of the Q&A session, which we probably think we'll have about 10 to 15 minutes for Q&A at the end. Okay, so submit your questions in the chat function on the webinar, and we will see it and we will answer your questions appropriately. So, as the world is experiencing an unprecedented public health crisis, the school management at Cal Lutheran stays committed to providing the best educational experience that our students deserve. Whether virtual or in person, we create an environment that provides both insight and inspiration, that both nurtures and challenges in a vibrant community that is moving forward together. So I'm designing this webinar series to be more interactive with our guest speakers. So I have a question for both Justin and Blessy. What attracted to you to Cal Lutheran in the first place?
Yeah, so for me, there were three things that attracted me to Cal Lutheran. First was the location. I like big cities, and knowing that Cal Lutheran is about an hour away from Los Angeles, that made me really excited, but also knowing that 30 minutes from the university, I could go to the beach. And I remember when I was applying to the university, I got this pamphlet, and it said that in California, there were like 320 sunny days, and I was like, yes, that is the university for me because it's in California. But besides that, CLU offered me the best scholarship, and they also have small class sizes, and that's what I was looking for because I wanted to connect with professors in a one-on-one way so that they could get to know me. And throughout my college years, that was very helpful because I knew that they wanted me to succeed, and they would always encourage me to pursue my goals and all that.
Okay. Well, for me, it's kind of similar in terms of, location for me was really important. I want to stay close to home. Being in Thousand Oaks, 30 minutes from the beach, you can't get much better than that. But also at the same time, the small class size really enticed me to go to CalLU. Making relationships with your professors and having that interaction is really important, I think, for me, because your professors, they're really knowledgeable and they have those connections that will eventually help you get a job in the future. So I thought that was very important for me, at least. But also another thing, CalLU offers career services. And, I had a lot of interviews coming in with them just to know more about what they offer. And, after graduating, I realized that, career services was a big help in that process in getting a job and really helping create and craft a resume and doing mock interviews. It was really a great thing that they offer there. So that was another thing that really enticed me to go to CalLU.
That's great. So in addition to our business administration program, the School of Management also offers a broad range of other programs, including 3 other undergraduate majors, 6 minors, and 9 graduate degrees. We also offer a 4+1 program, which is an option to embark on graduate studies while you are in the final year of your undergraduate work, to save money and finish your graduate work in as little as 1 year. The main features of all our programs are to combine choice and flexibility with high quality of higher education. So my questions for both Justin and Blessy again is, I think we have a audience submit the same question, is why do you major in business administration?
Yeah, so my parents, they manage a business, and when growing up, like I would see them and they really inspire me, and I thought I want to start my own business. So that's why I picked business administration as my major. Plus, like, I'm a very competitive person. I like to take decisions, and sometimes I'm like bossy. So I thought, oh, like this is my major. Picking the emphasis was more difficult. At first, I thought I was gonna pick management or marketing because I'm a creative person, but it wasn't until my sophomore year where I took principles of finance that I really enjoyed the class, and I thought, oh yeah, this is something I really want to pursue and that I feel strong about. And then also taking some global business classes make me decide more towards the global business emphasis.
For me, when I started at COU, I really didn't know what major I wanted to do coming in. So, but I did, have an interest in business. I thought that would be the best major for me because it gave me a wide variety of career paths. When I graduated, I had a lot of options. And, I was really impressed with CalLU about how they had all the different concentrations and emphasis. They had, finance, marketing, management. You can choose from a lot of different options. And that really, enticed me to major in business. And eventually, after taking my core business classes, I was able to narrow down my search and have my emphasis in finance.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. So I think both Blessy and Justin already mentioned, within our business administration major, we offer a wide range of choices for students to concentrate on. Starting fall 2020, we will have 7 emphasis areas, from classic business disciplines such as finance, marketing, and management, to more interdisciplinary areas such as global business, entrepreneurship, sports management, and business economics. We have many business students who did double emphasis while they're in the program as well. Okay, so our goal is to provide a variety of choices to fulfill your interests in business. And I truly believe what makes our business program special is that we provide a professional business education with a liberal arts flavor. We believe that it is absolutely essential to expand our students' horizon in the business world and help them prepare for the future. As many in the audience may have already known from our website, the business curriculum offers opportunities for students to be exposed to multiple business disciplines. These students are also equipped with the necessary tools, both quantitatively and qualitatively. And Dr. Murphy teaches our management courses in the program, especially has been pioneering one of our flagship business electives, human resources management. And she can offer many insights into our business program. Dr. Murphy?
Yeah, thanks, Ren. So yeah, I think many of the benefits associated with CLU come from sort of the small size, right? So you will be assigned the faculty advisor as a student who will work really closely to identify, what mix of courses makes sense for you with regard to emphasis area, right? So typically it's 3 courses, and we often offer more than 3 in an area, so you can pick and choose what makes sense for you. We also tend to incorporate internships whenever possible. So, your advisor will once again work pretty closely with you to make sure that the internship that you accept is one that makes sense for you, given what your emphasis area is. So yeah, it's I think a lot more a closer relationship, I guess, with your professors in general than at a larger institution. And so you'll have a faculty advisor that works really closely with you, closely enough that when it comes time to get sort of recommendations for graduate school, et cetera, that they'll know you well enough to write well-crafted recommendations based upon a lot of experience with you. So yeah, a lot of good things come from that faculty advising model.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Dr. Murphy. Can you elaborate on more about the faculty advising model? That I think that's one of the key features that we have at Cal Lutheran in general, and also in school management. How is that going to better serve our undergraduate students?
Yeah, right. So you'll just spend a lot of time. Typically, every semester you'll have to meet with your faculty advisor to discuss what classes you'll take the following semester, and once again, it's time intensive. So you'll be spending a good amount of time with your faculty advisor, which is a good thing because you'll often also have them for classes. But figuring out what mix of classes for you, what types of internships, what types of clubs you might focus on. For example, we have PIRA in the human resources area, so the Professional Human Resources Association, which is a subgroup rather of SHRM. And so we have a student-run group, and it's fairly new, but there are only a couple of them in Southern California. So there's opportunities for leadership positions, et cetera, that you could hold that would really look good on your resume. So sort of steering students toward that kind of thing is what we do as faculty advisors, making sure that you're involved in the things that it makes sense for you to be involved in, and maybe that you also get access to a number of different areas so you know what it is you're interested in.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think this is in terms of advising model, this is probably one of the best things that I like about Cal Lutheran University and school management. And like many larger public institutions where a student probably you're gonna just meet with your student counselor in the registrar office like once a year or things like that. Here we have many interactions with your professors in your own discipline, and to talk more about career development, professional development, internships like we just mentioned, and also about what courses may best fit your interests and what kind of the next step that you can take. And I think that's one thing that we really dedicate a lot of our time and resources on from our school management point of view. And also here at school management, we advocate for experiential learning. And this is not a new concept, but we consider it one of our key components in our program. We believe in learning by doing, and particularly in practical business industries like ours. One of the key components in business experiential learning is doing internships. And one of the things that you do in internships is called a co-op opportunity, which means the students can actually earn academic credits while interning in a related business industry. And our business students have gained tremendous internship experiences in many notable companies recently, and also in other agencies. And here we have one of the guests here, Justin Brown. He had several, I think, internship opportunities while he was in the business program. Justin, would you please tell us more about your internship experiences while you were in the business program?
Yeah, of course. So last summer, I completed an internship with Kaiser Permanente in San Diego. I was a data management and analysis intern where I served as a liaison to the IT and operations department. So there I learned and utilized ServiceNow, which is a new digital workflow software platform to analyze data and troubleshoot any potential solutions. But my main project was to download and triage these trouble tickets that were coming in through ServiceNow into Excel and run pivot tables to organize and categorize the certain tickets that were coming in according to topics of concern. So I analyzed these trouble tickets, highlighted any glaring issues. Then I provided my feedback regarding why these trouble tickets were being submitted in the first place. At the end of the internship, I was fortunate enough to present my project results to not only my manager, but also the vice president of membership and benefits administration at Kaiser. So that was a great experience for me. Last spring, I completed an internship with the Santa Monica Mountains Fund, which is a small nonprofit that works in accordance with the National Park Service. So there I was a business intern. So there I worked on asset management, allocating funds towards wildlife rehabilitation and conservation. And I also interacted with donors to increase donations, handled finances, contributed event management, and coordinated with the National Park Service to promote their mission. It's a kind of high level overview of what I did there.
Yeah, and then I think Justin is a really good example about a typical business students, what we think about internship and co-op opportunities. And one of the things when I advise my students about internship opportunities is, you're gonna one of the easiest way for you to find what you love about business, what kind of business, because business is such a multidisciplinary area. What kind of business you would like to specialize in, or you would like to pursue in your future? And one of the easiest way is to do an internship. All right, and I've seen many questions. We'll, as I mentioned, we're going to leave all the questions to the end of the presentation as we go, and we'll appreciate all the questions coming in, and we'll wait until we finish our presentation, and we'll address all your questions one by one. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, Justin, and the audience. So, and here you can see all the recent. When we say recent, it's like the students. I mean, this is almost my 5th year, so I'm all here finishing my 4 years at Cal Lutheran. So the companies that we listed here are just the ones that I know about from the feedback of our undergraduate students, and there are many other opportunities out there, I'm sure, that you can explore, whether it's for-profit companies or non-profit, like what Justin was doing with both Kaiser Permanente and the small non-profit organization. And of course, at school management for experiential learning includes more than just internship opportunities, right? When we think about experiential learning, along with your degree, we make sure that you have ample opportunities to engage in actual curricular activities. So we have many clubs and associations are strong partners and contribute to the vibrancy of the School of Management. And we maintain strong ties with industry. For instance, through a large number of events and by listening to the top level executives on our advisory councils, which has helped us keep our thinking fresh and has guided us in introducing new and exciting programs. We also keep everyone connected through our close network of more than 11,000 alumni around the world. And I think one of the things when we talk about experiential learning that I think both Dr. Murphy and I are doing in our classroom is I will regularly bring in guest speakers to our classrooms and to just introduce what a practitioner does in finance or in real estate, and about what their daily life looks like, how they get involved in the industry to begin with. And so I think one of the things that we also did recently this semester is Blessy get a chance to participate in the CFA Institute Research Challenge. So Blessy, can you tell us more about that experiential learning experience in the CFA Institute Research Challenge?
Yes. So at the end of the last semester, Professor Ramlu Anders introduced us to the CFA Research Challenge, and we made a team to represent Cal Lutheran, and we're competing against other 6 or 7 universities. And it consisted on, we were assigned a firm, and we had to analyze different things about it to determine if we would issue a buy, hold, or sell order. So it was a fun 4-month project, I want to say. And we had to analyze the industry, the competing firms, the stability of the company. We have to project financial statements, and make a decision as a team and try to support our analysis. And this was really helpful for me, especially because I was able to apply all these concepts that I learned in class and make sure that I was really understanding them to apply them in the real world. But it also gave me reassurance that this kind of project was something that I was going to do in my professional career, and that I was really enjoying what I was doing, and that I was on the right path of what I wanted to do professionally. The CFA Research Challenge also offered me networking opportunities because I was able to interact with members of the CFA society, and not only with them, but also with other finance students from other universities.
Yeah, that's good. And yeah, and in addition to the CFA Institute Research Challenge that we plan to do regularly, that get involved with our CFA Los Angeles Society, we also have an annual new venture competition that for students to pitch their ideas for their new business. And also, as we speak this week, we have our prime competition that involved all our students. And if you're interested, you can go to the Cal Lutheran website about the competition. That's all is about sustainability in our economy and our society. So we have ample opportunities for students to get involved, to compete, to actually refine their craft in business. And also, I think one of the most important things that we focus on is our networking, right? So Dr. Murphy, would you like to chime in and share more about our student clubs, associations, and our alumni network?
Sure, yeah. So I think I already mentioned PIRA, and you can see on the slide, we've got lots of clubs available, lots of events available. Once again, our small size ensures that you can actually get involved in these things if you want to, which is great. We're a fairly young institution, and so I'm kind of the liaison with the alumni, if you will, for the School of Management. And so we have events such as Drinks with the Dean, where a couple times a semester, the dean will invite a few students to go to a restaurant typically owned by one of our alumni, and interact with people on the advisory board or some alums. And so really kind of small, intimate sort of experiences like that you have access to as a student here. And let's see, our international MBA program, which is fairly young. We have really strong alumni networks around the world, really. And so, we have alums pretty much every country in the world. We often go visit, and they still get together and have activities together. And it's really a great sort of environment, I think. And so if you decide to do, say, the 4+1 program, you'll often take classes with the international MBA cohort and get some really interesting experiences like that. But just in general, I think that we have alums sort of well suited in a lot of the organizations here in Southern California, as well as internationally. And because we're small, you typically can, talk to these people pretty easily because, they know we're a small institution. They know the same professors that you're having, and et cetera, and they keep up with the School of Management news. So I think it's a really strong network, a lot of strong experiential learning opportunities.
Yeah, thank you. So one of the questions that usually we get from our students or our soon-to-be potential students are, what can we do with our degree in business administration? And I think the questions to answer this question, I would like you to stay open-minded, because what I think about the degree in business administration, I do think for your future, the possibilities are endless. And with the degree in business administration, you can explore diverse options to develop yourself professionally. And many of our recent graduates work for different sizes of companies, large or small, domestic, local companies, or global multinational enterprises. And also, just to find a full-time job is not the only outlet that you can do with your degree. We have, actually my own observation, upward trending in terms of a lot of students going to graduate schools to pursue their MBA or masters in various disciplines, and also an upward trend in law school applications. And I, last year I literally wrote 3 recommendation letters to my students for them to apply for law schools. And we also have, some students decide to go pursue a medical degree in the medical school. And that's also not the end of your choices or options that you can think about after 4 years at to finish the program. And there are many nonprofits opportunities that people do when they graduate. And I think, one of the things that Justin mentioned about his internships, both of them were with nonprofit organizations. And if a lot of students feel we are liberal arts education, the idea about pursuing your own value, your mission, and to pursue your own identity is incredibly important for us. So many of our recent graduates decided to do nonprofits, or they even start their own business, right? So entrepreneurship, innovation, creativity is one of the things that we advocate a lot in the program. So many of our alums actually have been really successful as entrepreneurs. And also we have people work for the government agencies, from federal government all the way to local municipal agencies. And of course, a lot of in the history of our program, we have many graduates decided to serve our country more directly by joining our military services. So what I think about the possibilities of what you do with your degree in business administration, my advice is just keep it open and be welcoming about any opportunities that come in your way. And I do think the sky is limit in terms of what you can do with your degree, how you serve yourself, your family, your own communities, and the industry itself. So speaking of which, while we have the recent alum, Justin just got the full-time position with Amazon. So you recently decided to join Amazon in their headquarters in Seattle, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Would you mind sharing your experience in your career development? How is the job hunting and professional development experience that you had while you were in Cal Lutheran?
Right, of course. Yeah, so I can kind of talk on 2 kind of different avenues, my internship experience and my academic experience. So my internship experience, coming from doing an internship at a small nonprofit versus a large company in Kaiser Permanente allowed me to see what kind of environment and what type of company I really wanted to work for, either that small kind of a nonprofit or that large company. And it really gave me hands-on real-world business experience, which is very important. Kaiser, was really fast-paced, deadline-oriented, which allowed me to learn how to work under pressure and perform while performing high quality work, which is really important. Another thing I learned that really kind of helped me in my career development is how important communication is. Not just within my team that I was on, it was spread across all departments, all different teams, because at the end of the day, it's all interrelated, and you're going to have to be able to communicate effectively and efficiently, or nothing's going to get done. So communication, vitally important. I think I learned a lot from that experience. But another thing that I think is just as important is networking. I think wherever you get an internship, no matter what you have to do, you got to network. That's, at the end of the day, networking is going to get you where you want to go and have those connections to get a job. So Kaiser really pushed that. They put a lot of networking events on, which is really nice because it all, it does lead to jobs, but it also allows you to learn about all the different departments from all these different people that you talk to. You get to talk to department heads, you get to talk to employees within, certain teams. So it allows you to experience and learn about all the different departments and what kind of projects they're doing. And you get to see, oh, maybe that's interesting. Maybe at the end of the internship, you can call and see if they have an opening once you graduate. So that's also a very important thing that I really learned during that internship as well. With the Santa Monica Mountains Fund as a business intern, I worked in various different departments, customer service, accounting, finance, and marketing. So it really showed me how all the different departments are interrelated and how that relationship is really crucial for the business to be successful. Kind of something that I learned from both internships that really is going to help me in my career development and also at Amazon is, being able to work independently and being able to critically think. I think, your boss isn't going to give you a step-by-step playbook on how to do something. That's just not going to happen. So being able to work independently and with little guidance is something that you're going to have to learn on the job very quickly. But once you get the hang of things and how things work within the company, it really comes easily. And, being able to critically think is very important as well. So those are just kind of the few things that I learned while doing those internships that really going to help me in my next step and my next role at Amazon. And then kind of pivoting to the academic experience, I think the School of Management really does prepare you for a role in the business world. Aside from the technical and theoretical concepts that you're going to learn in your business classes, for me personally, I think the School of Management did a great job at emphasizing the importance of soft skills through a lot of group projects. Within the business major, you're gonna have so many business group projects that, the reason why they do that is because they want to emphasize how important it is to develop your soft skills, because soft skills at the end of the day are very important in the business world. If you can't communicate, if you don't have that leadership, if you don't have the ability to adapt to different situations, it's going to be hard for you to really, take that next step into the role where you want to be. So those are some of the skills that I really learned from those group projects that really translated well into my internships that I was fortunate enough to have learned in my classes. So that was kind of a high level overview of that.
Thank you so much, Justin. I really appreciate it, and we hope that you're gonna represent our school management, Cal Lutheran at Amazon proudly. So I think we as we say, we keep in touch with our alumni very closely after they graduate, and a recent alumni survey conducted by Dr. Murphy and her colleagues actually suggests that overwhelmingly majority believe that their business degrees from Cal Lutheran actually help them and improve their professional development skills. So we hope that we can continue serve our students and improve those numbers. As much it's not 100% yet, but we're going to try our best to hopefully that our students, when they graduate, they feel like they actually did something tangible and something concrete for them to base their future on. And that's our goal as a school management. Both our faculty and staff are here to serve you. And So now we kind of wrap up our presentation now, and I see many of you have questions. So we're gonna go to the Q&A session, and we're gonna address every single one's question. All right, don't worry about it. We'll just go through the order. All right. So, and I think the first question we already addressed in terms of why both Justin and Blessy decided to study major in business. And the second one is from our audience is, are you satisfied with the size of class? So Justin or Blessy, are you, one of you can jump in?
Yeah, I think for me at least, I was really satisfied with the size of classes. It's not like you're gonna go to UCLA, you're gonna have a lecture hall of like 400 kids. You're not gonna get that here at Cal Lu. You're gonna have a good size class where you can interact not only with your peers, but with, you know, especially with the professors, and the professors are gonna get to know your name. That's gonna be a for sure thing. So that's really important, I think, for me, because it allowed me to go to office hours. You know, they were really available, made time, and they really want you to succeed. So I think the class sizes were, you know, good for me at least. So.
Blessy, you want to chime in too?
Yeah, I agree with Justin. Yeah, it was like the professor knew my name, like, and they wanted me to succeed. Not only that, but I was able to interact with peers, and probably some of these peers that I had in this class, I would have in a different class. And that was nice to have like that community, like that business community where I kind of knew about everyone in the school of management.
Right. Yeah. Oh, can I say one more thing, Professor?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, just on that note, just like once you major in business, you're gonna have, like Blessy said, you're gonna see a lot of familiar faces. So it's really good just to have that network in and of itself, which I think is important too. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when I teach finance and Dr. Murphy is teaching management, we do have a similar feeling about that. It seems like we're teaching a cohort kind of way.
Yeah.
Like many students will show up at different electives, and they are all kind of all know each other, and as professors we know.
Yeah.
So for a typical, to address more specifically about the size of class, at School of Management undergraduate program, our majority of our class size is capped at 25. So the most you can have is 25 students, and that's usually capped for the principal, the fundamental classes that in business. And then when you go into electives, the majority of electives you're looking at in business are from 10 to 20. I would say that's probably the average that you're looking at. As I say, both Justin and Blessy mentioned, our professors will know your name pretty much by the third week of the semester. And I think that's good because we can create a more intimate environment inside our classroom. And we, as from our professor point of view, we can actually customize the class more catered towards that specific classroom, so that we can be more interactive with our students and address their questions more directly in that way. Mm-hmm. Naomi, can you hear us still? I didn't really see your question until now. I hope you can hear us. There is audio. I mean, at least we can hear each other. So I'm not sure if, I think the audience can hear us as well. And Omer asked about how many internships do most students do? I'm going to put on my program director hat and try my best to answer this question. From my own observations, because if you do a co-op, means you're earning credit for your internship, you do need a program director to sign it off. So we pretty much, average student probably do 1 to 2 internships throughout the program, but depends on what their future interests are, right? So if some students already set their mind into law school, graduate school, then they may do fewer internships. But if they would like to pursue a full-time position, right, like Justin, then they may actually decide to do more internships. So usually our career services advice is like, you probably want to do 2 internships on average. Some of the internships are paid, some of them are not. Okay, so it's, but most of them are, we're trying to advocate or promote the students to do internships in their related discipline, right? So if you're interested in marketing, or if you're interested in human resources or finance, we're trying to push you to say, okay, go find some opportunities in those areas. So I hope I answered your question. And Dr. Murphy, do you want to jump in and see what your observations are?
Yeah, actually, I was just thinking of a specific example. I've got a student currently, he's my advisee as well, and he's majoring in management, emphasizing management, but he plays tennis, and he wants to do something sort of tennis related when he graduates. And so he did an internship, but he's also doing an independent study where he's looking at management of in the tennis academies that sort of are around, primarily in Florida, a couple of them. But so he would like to do that sort of in the future. So he's taken on looking at some of the factors associated with that in an independent study. So he's really able to focus on something that he's pretty sure he's already interested in, and get some facts and get some interesting information as well. It's kind of interesting things going on in the world of tennis from a management standpoint that I wasn't familiar with until he began working on his independent study. So a lot of equity issues, gender issues, that kind of thing that he's exploring, because he'd like to go into that sort of industry when he graduates.
All right, I think next question is actually direct at Justin. So how did you decide the business core course you think is better for you to study?
I think just going into it and experiencing all the, you don't have to declare your emphasis until, I think, till your junior year. So just going into the business school and really experiencing all the different core programs, it allowed me to experience, all the different class, marketing, accounting. I was able to take my first finance class with Professor Randall Andrews. And, I think that really, that class really captivated my interest in finance. She really taught the class very well. And, I was a big numbers guy, and, I wanted to, complement that in the business world. And I think finance was the best kind of course of action for me. So.
All right. Yeah, I hope we address you. So all the business core courses that we actually show in the slides, if they're core, that means they're all required. So, right. And our goal is for you to get exposure on all what we think are the main foundations of the business industry. So doesn't matter what your emphasis is going to be later on. So you are going to learn a little bit about marketing, a little bit about organizational behavior, a little bit about finance, a little bit about statistics, right? Business law. So that we hope that foundation is set so that you can actually later on to pursue what your interests are. Okay, so I hope we answer your question. So next question is from Tabitha, and she's interested in, can you provide more information about the Disney internships? What concentration would best complement Disney management? I hope, Dr. Guerrero, are you still there? I think we have 2 students actually interned at Disney. Do you have more background information about the opportunity? Dr. Guerrero, are you still there?
Actually spoke to our student last week, Erin, who was interning at Disney in the marketing department. And I don't know that there is a specific major or emphasis area. I mainly work with marketing students, but I've had multiple students very interested in Disney. He was working with their social causes. So it was nonprofit related messages and cause marketing that was going across all the Disney properties and brands and segments. So he got a lot of really good experience, even though his internship was cut a little bit short by this current situation. And he made a lot of great contacts, and his goal is to apply to work there full time when he graduates in December.
All right, thank you, Dr. Guerrero. I think many internship opportunities, a lot of students can find them. If you have a very specific companies that you're interested in working at, and then you can go to their own website. And a lot of larger corporations usually have a summer internship program, so that I know that like Amgen has one here in Thousand Oaks, and so you can actually specifically apply for those. And also LinkedIn is also a very important tool for you to network and also seeking internship opportunities. Right. So hopefully, Tabitha, we answer your question. Next two questions are kind of the same. So I think probably Justin can actually answer that. When did you do your first internship?
My first internship was last spring, and it lasted for 5 months.
So that's the beginning of your senior year, or
Yeah.
junior year?
Junior.
Okay, your junior year. Okay. So yeah, junior, I think on average, what we actually observe a junior year, starting of junior year is probably an ideal condition for you to actually start to think about internship. So I do have some advicees started a little bit early, around the summer before the junior year. But once in a while, we have the second semester sophomores can do some internship. Mostly depends on if they already set their mind on certain companies they would like to intern for. So junior year, I think, is probably the best starting point, because usually at that time you already took some of the business core courses. You kind of have an idea what's going on. And of course, at that time, you already took all the accounting courses. And if the company would like you to do like spreadsheet, financial reporting, those type of things, so you data entry, those type of functions, many of our business students are already equipped to do that. Right? So, but it's nothing set for stone. Usually it's very customizable. We don't have a policy that says, oh, you can only do internship starting junior year, right? If you're a freshman, sophomore, you want to do it, we highly encourage to do that. All right, and next question is from Kayla. By majoring business, what are some career paths that one can take? And I think in our presentation, we try our best to cover the possibilities. All right, so usually I think it's depend on what kind of idea about what you want to do, and I think that's probably the most important thing, right? Our advice from the faculty advising model that we have, we're not trying to push students to one way or another. Oh, you're going to find a job, or you're going to go to grad school, you're going to, work for government, stuff like that. I think one of our way of serving our students is we want to join your journey about discovering your self-interest, right? So what you like the most. And I think one of the biggest thing that I always promote in our undergraduate program is about exploration. It's about exploring the opportunities, what's the potentials out there. And I personally, and I think many, including Dr. Murphy and Dr. Guerrero here, we truly believe that everybody is unique and special in your own way, and we don't always have to serve our community, our society in the same way. And our goal here is to help you to explore your options and help you to find what you like to do after you graduate. Okay, so I hope I answered your question. And if Dr. Murphy or anybody Justin or Blessy want to chime in, feel free.
Yeah, I think that with advisees, I actually try to get advisees to wait until maybe their junior year to really commit to an emphasis area, because I think until you've taken some of the core classes, you don't know what you like, you don't know what you don't like, you don't know what speaks to you. And so I know that's always hard for students. It's kind of anxiety. It's like, no, I've got to figure out what I'm going to do for the rest of my life right now. And the reality is that life is very long. You're going to be doing whatever job it is you decide to do for quite a while. It should be something that you really enjoy and that you're good at. And until you've experienced a number of things, you may not know what that is.
Yeah. All right. And then from Tabitha, I actually have two questions. Are there internship opportunities over summer before freshman? So after your high school, I'm sure there are. I'm not sure whether they're going to be more specific because if you do credit co-op internship, usually they want you to be already in the college. So that's why how they. And then there's you have to take a certain amount of credit to be able to earn credit in your internship. But if you just want to do it for fun or for your interest, yeah, I'm sure there are some for high school students, and especially I think on the nonprofit sector, right? They always look for volunteers and non-paid interns, things like that. If you're interested in that, that certainly is a way. And what are your opinions on double major in business and hospitality? Well, that's I would say it's very ambitious, and hospitality is our new major. You should go to their webinar series this week as well. Since it's a new major in hospitality, I don't have a live example to show you. It's doable, but if you're really interested in it, we can certainly get together and talk about what's the route that you can take in terms of double measuring both business and hospitality. Okay. And you can see here, we don't really say no to our students. We want to see if there is a possibility, because we always want to say if there's a possibility, it's probably doable. So is there a tutoring available? Yes, we do. We do have department assistant every semester. As a matter of fact, right now, since we're doing virtual instructions, our tutors are actually doing virtual tutoring as well through Zoom. So yeah, every semester we have usually 4 or 5 department assistants, and they usually come with recommendations from the faculty to usually in charge of certain classes like accounting, finance, economics, statistics, those type of more quantitative subjects, so that you can actually, and it's free. All you need to do is to make appointment with the department tutors to get advice on that. And what was a situation in business administration that really helped develop your soft skills?
Yeah, I think I can talk about that. So I think throughout, the School of Management and the business administration major, you're going to have group projects in every one of your classes that, really emphasize the importance of how to communicate with all different types of people and all different types of personalities. Once you get in the business world, that's very important. If you can't communicate with someone, you're not going to be able to get, a lot of your work done. But I think one key example that I remember that, it's a required course. It's called Business Communication for Managers, a required course for, the business major. And that was a class, it's daunting at first. I will tell you that. It was very daunting at first. But once you get through it and really learn all the concepts, they help you. That class really helped me with interviews. I think that was one of the major classes that really helped me with my interviews. I think helps you with, resume, writing the resume, writing business reports, presenting business reports. So I think overall that class really taught me like leadership skills, really emphasized in that class. Communication, working with all different types of people, all different types of personalities, teamwork, and adaptability were some of the key things I learned in that class and really helped me, I think, in my career so far.
All right, thank you, Justin. I hope I answer your question. So next one is, we only have 8 minutes left. All right, time flies by. Yeah, we only have a lot of interaction. So how many total business school students do we have? You mean in the business major? We currently our business administration major is the largest undergraduate major on campus. So altogether, we probably have almost 600. Dr. Susan Murphy, am I correct? I think that's appropriate estimate. And then we have 3 other majors: accounting, economics, and hospitality. So add them all together, we're probably looking at 750 to 800-ish for the whole school of management, all 4 years. All right, so still considered to be a relatively small business school, but we do, because our presence on campus, we do have quite a few resource support, and then our staff and faculty that are awesome to support the whole program. Max talking about, are the classes taught more through lectures or through activities? Dr. Murphy, would you like to answer that?
Yeah, sure. So I try to lecture as little as possible because I remember being an undergraduate student, and the things that I remembered were things that were actually tied to examples. And the strongest examples, in my opinion, are those that you sort of engage in. So I try to give, and I think this is true across sort of all the classes in the School of Management, but try to give as much experiential learning opportunity as possible in classes. And so, whenever there's an opportunity for that. And then I just think generationally, students in the classroom today don't find lecture and a lecture format quite as useful for them, in all honesty. They are sort of well acquainted with sort of engaging in some things on their own. And so the value in the classroom a lot of times comes from that experiential learning portion. So, I think my experience has been very little lecture in general in classes. Some require more than others, of course, depending on the content.
Yeah, I mean, in my finance class, I probably do more lectures than a lot of other professors. But I try to do examples even through the lectures, because I think most students probably learn more about throughout the example than rather you just simply talk about the models and equations, formula. And it's more about the application of those are more important within our program. So I would say it's kind of a mixture, depends on the content for sure, and then teaching styles. We have many professors with years of teaching experience. We've been teaching at all different kinds of universities and throughout the years, and we develop our own style of teaching. Some of this professors may more used to the more interactive or even flip the classroom, those type of pedagogy. And then some of us, we may focus more on the business application side. And so, of course, you're gonna throughout the program, you see different type of professors. And what we're proud of is it doesn't really matter whether it's a full-time professor or a part-time professor. We all usually have years of working experience in that discipline or in research experience, scholarship in that discipline as well. So we try to keep up to date about the things we teach in the classroom. It's not just going to be, we just based on our teaching purely on a textbook. It doesn't really work in school management. So we're trying to stay current as much as we can. What kind of classes does a major in business has to take? And I think I can go all the way back right here in slide number 4. That shows you the business core courses that you have to take, and then the required supporting courses. And then I think Dr. Murphy talk about the 3 electives that you have to do. So for better information, please go to our website in school management, and you can see the course requirements for the major and the catalog. Can you double major pursue more than one emphasis? We do have double major, and I think I'm scrolling down to the last question from Madison. Is it possible double major in business and English? Blessing is actually double majoring in both business and Spanish as we speak. And I think she can share more experience on double majoring.
Yeah, so in order to double major, you do have to plan ahead. I decided to double major when I was a freshman, so I was able to plan out my courses and take like courses that fulfill requirements for like different our core 21 requirements. So let's say like I would take a Spanish class that will fulfill like our literature requirement and our like global studies requirement. So it's about planning ahead. And I would recommend to sit down with your advisor and plan your 4 years of college courses if you want to like double major and finish in time.
Yeah, I think the planning is probably the key part. We do see more and more students decide to double major or major and minor while they're in the program to diversify or to improve their own professional profile while they go into the job market, which is probably one of the smartest thing to do, is to distinguish yourself in the job hunting, in the career development, to show your diverse skills as a human resource capital, right? So that's one thing that we absolutely will help you, but the sooner you decide to do it, the better off you are. So it's harder for you to do it later on, because then you already miss a lot of opportunities to double dipping or triple dipping in some of the courses to help you to fulfill that. But I think, Blessy and we have many graduates that are real examples that you can see it is definitely doable. And Andre asked about general education. Here in Cal Lutheran, we call it Core 21. So please go to our website in our catalog to see what the requirements are. I think we're doing pretty good on time. Well, one last question from Kayla about transferring as a junior. Are you going to be critically behind? For transfer students, we do have a event that usually we go to called T2CLU, because each transfer student has their own unique circumstances about what courses you took in the community college or other universities. So I cannot really answer you questions specifically here about your own situation. So pretty much you probably want to talk to the academic services first, and you do a profile and see what if you double major, what's going to happen in terms of your graduation timeline, right? So I think we're wrapping it up. It's 10 o'clock already. Thank you so much for you guys to join us. And we here as part of a vibrant community in school management, whether you're a student, alum, community, or advisory council member, and we have here, people have placed trust in us. We value that trust, and our professors and staff members alike go above and beyond every day to fulfill your expectations and make your dreams come true. We believe we offer more than just courses, programs, and degrees. As a business school, we are driven by innovation, by the passion of the people we employ, and most importantly, by the aspiration of the people we serve. As we move forward together, thank you so much for attending today's webinar, and we look forward to seeing you in the fall. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.